the IPL has done really well is changed the rules. If things push comes to shove means that I still need to work, piloting would be my first option on the list.
You've taken a lot of crazy catches in your career.
Ollie Pope at Hagley Oval, at Gully. There is definitely a huge piece of it that comes down to genetics that from a speed and agility perspective. So if I do drop catches, it's not because I haven't put the effort in. The IPL this year, and obviously always learning, and sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not. I think it's been really good experience leading into. Oh, it's been fantastic. Arriving here, the management were super incredible to work with. The players themselves invited me in straight away, and I've really enjoyed the way the trainings have functioned. Ashish Bhai is unbelievable. The energy he brings is pretty phenomenal, and the whole crew has been fantastic so far. So yeah, I go as far to say it's probably my favorite franchise so far.
And have you been told about your specific role in the playing 11?
That's one I wouldn't tell you even if I did know. But no, I don't know yet.
Okay. So will it be on similar lines? Normally you play in the middle order finisher. Can we say that?
I have absolutely no idea. I haven't been told anything, and I'm sure that's for good divine reasons. But we'll see what happens. You'll find out when I know, I'm sure.
Okay. Glenn, you played in India a lot now in your career. How has it helped you in your play against spin, and how has it helped you overall as a cricketer?
Yeah, I think it's been fantastic. I had the opportunity to work with parts of recently over the last couple of days, and obviously being a man of similar height to myself, it actually was really good to pick his brain and get an understanding of how he used to play spin, especially here in India. And I've had guys like Sarwan in the past in the Caribbean as well, who's been phenomenal for my spin playing game, and spending time here in India on different kinds of wickets, the test wickets, which obviously turn a lot, and then ODI cricket where there's a little bit of I guess, a balance between spin and no spin, and I think it's been really good experience leading into the IPL this year, and obviously always learning, and sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not, but at the end of the day, if I keep trying to work on the process side of things with that spin side of my game, hopefully it just keeps improving.
And how have the conversations been, Shubman, so far? Has he spoken about your superhuman fielding with you yet, and how he plans to use that?
Yeah, he's a fantastic human. We had a team dinner the other night and I had a good catch up with him. We've obviously played against each other quite a few times. But it was nice to get to know him on a more personal level and find out the things he likes to do, but then obviously also the way he thinks about the game as well. And it'd be a bit of an unfortunate situation if I don't use his knowledge and his ability to try and improve on my own game as well. He's been a phenomenal player for so many years at such a young age. So to be able to understand his brain and how he works would be a great opportunity.
And Glenn, would you say as a fielder you're naturally gifted, or you worked a lot on your fielding to be doing what you're doing now?
I think there is definitely a huge piece of it that comes down to genetics that from a speed and agility perspective. So I guess you can say a little bit naturally gifted, but at the end of the day, talent and natural gifts can only get you so far. So the other half of it is working my butt off to try and be able to, I guess, cover all my bases to, I guess, go out in the middle and understand that I've done the work. So if I do drop catches, it's not because I haven't put the effort in.
And has anyone inspired you within cricket or in other sport to be this agile?
Yeah, I think there's probably two people. I didn't really get to watch him live, but Jonty, obviously set the standard from early days, and my dad was a big fan of him, and I guess that's also why we did a lot of fielding growing up. When we were younger, both my brother and I, we did a lot of fielding with dad. And I think that's potentially something that put us in good stead as we grew older. It gave us a little bit of a foot up on potentially other people. Doing it at such a young age. And then as I grew up, I got to watch Brendan Brendan McCullum throughout his career, once he finished wicketkeeping, throwing himself around in the field, the kind of attitude he brought, I guess goes without saying, and he, I guess, then set the new benchmark for what's going on in terms of being able to throw yourself around. I know he had a lot of injuries going on at the same time and still threw his body around like a rag doll. So I guess that for me shows, if he can do it, then there's no reason why I shouldn't have the same attitude.
Your top three catches, you've taken a lot of crazy catches in your career. Your top three, if you can.
Um, I would probably say Marcus Stoinis at the SCG in the T20 World Cup. That one was pretty good, covered a lot of ground, full dive. And then I've taken a catch for Gloucester in the T20 Blast out at deep backward point, where that was a full dive to my left after a full sprint, and that was pretty cool. And then I'm probably going to say Ollie Pope at Hagley Oval at Gully, just because I literally couldn't get any further than that. That was the max limit I've been able to dive at.
Yeah, sounds good. And I know you like growing up days, you were into gymnastics as well, but of late, I read that you've taken up other sports also to excel in cricket. How does that help you dabbling into other sports?
Yeah, I think other sports give you an insight into not only mindset, but I guess using other parts of your body that hopefully you can use coming back into the cricket arena. I used golf to try and find patience and understand things from the longer form of the game. I used archery to really hone down on the process-driven piece, and then brought that to cricket and understood that if the results weren't going my way, what are things that I can focus on to, I guess, keep myself enjoying the game? And that became that huge process piece. And then obviously I've got into paddleball recently. That's been a lot of fun. That's obviously learning a new skill. It always, I think, challenges me to be able to learn something different that my body isn't used to. And um, I really just enjoy trying to learn things as quick as possible. And I guess that comes back to cricket. If I'm learning to play spin or learning to play a different shot, the ability to try and learn things as fast as possible goes a long way, especially in the professional game.
And being a pilot, is that a post-retirement plan, though still very young?
Yeah, it's a huge passion of mine. If I wasn't playing cricket and I had all the money in the world growing up, I probably would have ended up being a pilot, to be fair. I love being in the air. I love all the procedures around being a pilot. The radio communications, but obviously the handling of the plane itself. I don't really know why I love it so much, but I think anybody who's into aviation doesn't really know either. The obviously the feeling of flying is something that humans have wanted for all of time. So I guess I'm no different from all those people. And um I guess it comes down to wanting to do something that I enjoy after cricket. Even ideally I'd like to be able to go into the mountains and have absolutely no need for work and do all my hobbies. But if things push comes to shove means that I still need to work, piloting would be my first option on the list.
So you've just done simulator, or you've flown actual planes as well?
No, I've flown actual planes. I've got 7 hours in a little Cessna 152 before I sort of started my cricket career. And then as cricket took off, I just didn't really have the time. So I've moved into the simulator side of things. I've flown a couple of the simulators in the Emirates training center. I was lucky enough to have a contact there through New Zealand Cricket that took me into one of the official training simulators, and I got to fly one of those. And obviously, I've got my own stripped down version on my computer that I bring my throttles and my yoke system with, and I try and simulate as much real world stuff as I can. And there's a big community online as well, which people try and train the air traffic control side of things. So it works really well being the pilot and working with an air traffic controller, because at the end of the day, I think the hardest part is learning radio communications and the procedure side of things for flying. And if I can't really get in the cockpit of a real plane, the next best thing is to try and learn, I guess, all the theory behind it all while I have the chance.
The impact player rule in the IPL, and the ban on overseas players for last minute pullouts, like we saw with Harry Brook. Your take on both these issues?
The impact player is obviously a unique one to the IPL. It's definitely produced a lot of incredible scoring games. I'm neither here nor there for it. You know, it definitely allows a lineup to do different things, but I do feel like there could be an issue at some stage with all-rounders losing out and not being so prevalent, which then obviously has an impact on international game, international T20s, international one days. So for now it's a great entertaining brand of cricket, but I think the what the IPL has done really well is changed the rules to what I guess the environment is going through. So obviously the impact player rule is working at the moment, but then they could very well have another rule that comes in and do off with the impact player rule and bring another entertainment element into the game. You know, we've brought saliva back this year, which obviously will potentially enhance reverse swing as well. I think the bowlers need to be able to have something going for them if there's an extra batter going around. So um, I think that's what the IPL has done really well. So not necessarily the impact player per se, but the rules that they changed to keep it fresh and new. And the 2 year
Foreign
ban.
players.
I mean, at the end of the day, they warned people if you come in and you decide to go, that they knew about the rules to start. If if the rules weren't there, I think it would be a bit harsh, but the rule is there.